Wow, what's good, YouTube? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Before we go any further in the video, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell when you'll be notified anytime I post any new videos. All right, the situation I'm gonna address is the situation with George Kambosos and Devin Haney. All right, Devin Haney is the most avoided fighter in the lightweight division. I mean, nobody at 135 seems to want to fight Devin Haney for whatever reason. I mean, he's an excellent young fighter, but it's ridiculous how fighters seem to constantly avoid him. I mean, it's disheartening. I'm sure it's disheartening for a lot of his fans. To me, I want to see him fight the best fighters, but nobody seems to want to fight Devin Haney. All right, first, Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, the Matrix, supposedly the best thing since sliced bread in the sport of boxing. Of course, our friend Bob Arum, he at one point said that he was even better than Muhammad Ali, which is ridiculous. But even with that being said, basically, he had the opportunity to fight him for the WBC title, and he vacated the title and petitioned for the franchise title. All right, so Devin Haney was awarded the WBC championship. All right, then after that particular saga played out, which was ridiculous because to me he should have just fought Devin Haney for undisputed, but it didn't happen. Then after that, Teofimo Lopez fought Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko. All right, he won that particular fight in an upset. I mean, it was a close fight. I scored it 7-5 for Lopez, but instead of him fighting Devin Haney, he pretty much called him out and said it was an email championship, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. At that point, it was apparent and it was obvious to me that he wanted no parts of Devin Haney. He didn't want to fight him. So he didn't fight Devin Haney. And instead of him fighting for undisputed, he decided he would take a tune-up fight, a light touch, and fight a mandatory in George Kambosos. All right. He fought George Kambosos, and he lost the fight, which was good for him. All right, he lost that particular fight, and right after that fight, George Kambosos said he wasn't gonna do the same thing that Teofimo Lopez did. He wasn't gonna do that. He wasn't gonna avoid Devin Haney. He knew he wasn't the undisputed champion, so he was gonna fight Devin Haney, and he was gonna become the undisputed champion in that particular division, at the 135 division. All right, so that's what he said. However, once he won, he said he had to weigh his options, and we had quite a few 135-pound fights within a few weeks. So he fought his fight. He went to see Tank Davis. Said he basically he wanted to see who he was gonna fight out the crop. So he scouted Tank Davis, went to his fight. Then after that, he went to the Richard Comey and Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko fight. And basically, instead of him just saying, well, all right, hey, I'm gonna fight this particular guy, he said he wanted to fight the most exciting fighter in the division. Well, before that, he wanted to fight for legacy, and it wasn't about money. And then he wanted to fight the most exciting fighter in the particular division. So he just kept moving the goalposts, and it seemed as if he was pump faking the entire time. And he wasn't really serious about fighting Devin Haney. And then after that point, we have the situation that's still going on in the Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine. So at this point, Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko is off the table. Gervonta Tank Davis, he made it clear that he didn't want to fight for the belts. He didn't care about the belts. So he didn't want Tank Davis. So I mean, he didn't get Tank Davis. So he didn't get Vasyl Lomachenko. He didn't get Tank Davis. So I don't see what the problem is. If he fights Devin Haney, not only does he have the opportunity to fight for undisputed, but in addition to that, he's gonna make more money fighting in that particular fight than he's gonna make fighting any other fight. This saga is dragging on. It's been going on and on and on, and it's obvious at this point he's afraid of Devin Haney. He doesn't want to fight Devin Haney, and he's just gonna do everything in his power to avoid Devin Haney. Now, at one point, word was that he really was strongly leaning towards Vasyl Lomachenko, that he wanted that particular fight, and of course, he beat George Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez beat Vasyl Lomachenko. So why would you fight the guy? You beat the guy that beat the guy. So it's pointless. So you're gonna fight Vasyl Lomachenko, who lost to Teofimo Lopez, and you beat Teofimo Lopez. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, at this point, it's obvious he's scared of Devin Haney. He's avoiding Devin Haney. He doesn't want that fight. So right now, he can't say, I'm going to fight Vasyl Lomachenko, like I said, due to the situation with Ukraine and Russia invading the Ukraine. So that fight is off the table. And Tank doesn't want to fight him. At one point, he entertained fighting Ryan Garcia, which I don't see why Ryan Garcia gets so much hype. I mean, I know he has a lot of social media followers, but all those social media followers he has, it has not translated into him being a mega boxing star. It hasn't translated him to being some type of pay-per-view draw. So I don't see why so many fighters in and around the 135-pound division even has interest in fighting Ryan Garcia. He has done nothing to prove he's a star. He hasn't achieved anything. He's not even a champion. So I don't see what the big deal is with him, but he didn't want to fight George Kambosos either. So you can't fight Vasyl Lomachenko. You can't fight Ryan Garcia. You can't fight Gervonta Tank Davis. So at this point, the only real viable option is Devin Haney. Yet it's obvious and it's apparent at this point that he's not going to fight Devin Haney. And this is my major gripe with the sport of boxing. I mean, it's just trash at this point. All right? We can't get the fights we want. The best fighters don't want to fight the best fighters. Fans, they're not fans of the sport of boxing, but they're fans of one particular fighter. Despite who your favorite fighter may be, they're not fans of the overall sport of boxing, but they're fans of one particular individual. And it seems like just instead of getting what we want, they just tell us, hey, take this particular fight. Just take it and just be satisfied. And at this point, as a consumer, I'm not, if I can't get the fights I want, I'm not purchasing any fights. In fact, I've had these things for a long time because it seems as if all the fights I want as a boxing fan, we really can't get it. And it seemed like the few fighters that really is willing, ready, and able to fight any fighter, those fighters are the fighters that get ridiculed and talked about the most. Like, for example, Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney. These the few fighters in the sport of boxing that's really willing to fight everybody. They want to prove they're the best. They want to fight the best competition. And they just can't, especially Devin Haney, he just can't get the fights that he's deserving. I mean, he deserves an undisputed showdown with George Kambosos, but yet it's obvious and it's apparent that George Kambosos doesn't want any smoke. He doesn't want those problems. He doesn't want those issues. So he's going to find a way to avoid Devin Haney. I don't know who he's going to fight. I don't know what fight is going to be a viable option. More than likely, he'll probably take a stay busy fight until he could find another big name fight to avoid Devin Haney. And it's just obvious that at this point, George Kambosos is just holding those titles hostage. But it's not like he's some type of superstar fighter. The first real good fighter he fights, just like Teofimo Lopez, he's going to lose those titles. And then after that point, if I was Devin Haney, I wouldn't even give him the time of day. So that's the end of this video. Like the video, share the video, comment in the video. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime I drop a new video. Again, this is Coach 67 Sports TV. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Have a blessed and phenomenal weekend. Peace.